wherever you are. I'm Matty Bishop alongside Olympic medalist Rich Lambourne, and we are stoked to bring you this broadcast of the FIVB Huntington Beach Open 4-star event. We've got a winner's bracket matchup between the A-team, April Ross and Alix Klineman, and the Brazilians, Taiana, Lima, and Carolina Horta. Rich, thanks for joining me today. Talk to us a little bit about this this format that we've got for this crazy FIVB Huntington Beach event.
Yeah, it's a new form. Wow, nice block right out of the gate. Sorry to get interrupted by great volleyball there.
Alix not giving us a chance to get any lead in here. That's all the lead in we need, I suppose.
Yeah, it's unusual for the World Tour in that it's a double elimination bracket. Typically on the World Tour, they're going with pool play and a modified pool play format at that. So I'll be interested after the weekend to see how the athletes all responded to it and what their thoughts were.
April and Alix out of the gates hot. Nice high line shot over the top from April there. I can tell you yesterday, just walking around day one of the main draw, that it was entirely overwhelming. So much volleyball, teams that I really wanted to see, that I'd start walking that direction and 3 more good matches would catch my eye on the way over. It was incredible.
Well, there's no shortage of great talent out here. There's no doubt about that.
April over the top of the block again. April and Alix looked really good on Stadium Court yesterday. They only played once. It was a pretty pedestrian affair for them. I watched the majority of that one. Both of these teams, I believe, only played once yesterday, and this matchup will keep them on the top side of the bracket, which could mean 3 fewer matches to get to the final if you go that route.
Yeah, of course in a double elimination format you want to stay in the winner's bracket. For those unfamiliar with the modified pool play, you have pools of 4. The 1 and 4 seed in the pool play each other, the 2 and 3 seed play, and then the winners play for 1st and 2nd in the pool. Losers of those matches play for 3rd and last in the pool, and then you go into a single elimination playoff format. This is the standard double elimination that we're used to seeing on the AVP.
Nice hands over there, perpendicular to the shoulders from Taiana Lima. Picked up and killed, and April and Alix just keep rolling here. They're putting on an early show and an early timeout from the Brazilians. April and Alix up 4-0. We'll take a look around the other courts as they get going as well. I believe there's 5 or 6 courts of action happening right now. Rich, talk to me. What did you see yesterday? What are some of the matches and results that stood out to you?
Probably the biggest standout results from yesterday were both Russian teams losing on the men's side. Those were the finalists from the most recent 4-star event in Xiamen, China. Krasilnikov and Lyman, my guys Jake Gibb and Taylor Crabb, squared off against them, and that team is really impressive when they're firing on all cylinders. Made it all the way to the final, got the silver medal in China, and they lost yesterday to Argentina, Capagrosso and Azad, which is a very good team, and it's just kind of indicative of how much of a minefield the men's side can be out here.
It's mind-boggling after watching the final from Xiamen on YouTube. To think that those two teams lost their first-round matchup, the parity in the FIVB is huge as Brazil finally gets a side out.
Probably the other standout result, since we're watching women's action here, was Kelly Larson and Emily Stockman taking down Agatha and Duda.
I heard that Kelly Larson is bawling right now.
Not crying from her win, but playing great ball, you mean?
Yes, yes indeed. We've got a great day of action as we see the side switch here. Coming up 6-1 in favor of the A-team. Great day of action this morning. Coming up after this one, we've got Ali McCullough and Gina Urengo versus finalists from Xiamen, Kelly Clays and Brittany Hoshaver. After that, we've got a fun one, USA-Brazil again. Dahlhauser Lucena versus Simon and Alvaro.
I don't think that was a good play there. I don't know what the refs are thinking out here half the time, but you have to be square in order to do that, and she kind of went through the whole 180 degrees of the spectrum there, it looked like to me.
That did not look square. With an event this size, is there an issue potentially, or an issue that's been discussed that you're aware of amongst the players of bringing in additional officials because you have so many courts running at the same time?
I'm not sure what the criteria are for the line judges. The up and down refs are obviously, they've gone through some rigorous training. Nice block there from Carroll. But I think the line judges are just kind of local people. And we saw a little bit of that on our court yesterday. I mean, the guy was on some other planet. And in one of the greatest karmic moves I've ever seen in volleyball, Simon was calling his own touches.
I was going to save that for the Phil and Nick match, and I'm sure we'll get a chance to talk about it again. But the honor call was alive and well and turned out to be the right call yesterday.
Yeah, it worked out for them, unfortunately, because sadly we're not doing that on our side of the net, probably.
Now, from perspective, I think I was watching that one as well courtside, and I think the ref had it. And I was curious if Simon knew the ref had it, and because of such an emotional reaction from Taylor and Jake, he made a point of owning it. Nice block by Alix there.
Alix in a good groove blocking so far early in this match. I disagree with you. I don't think the ref had that at all. The one in particular for set point for them in the second set,
Yes.
and he walked away and called it, and then the up ref obviously believed him and made the call. But that guy was not a good official.
Nice swing from April. She goes cross court. We saw high line early, then she mixes it up a little, goes cross court there. Brazilians have woke up a little bit, but Alix and April were my pick before the start to win this one, to go all the way. I think they're flying a little under the radar coming in here with so many shakeups on the women's side, so many new teams. Kelly and Britt putting up such a great performance in China. I think these two are avoiding a lot of the spotlight and probably pretty happy with that.
Well, they certainly got a lot of attention by coming out in their first tournament and winning that. It was a little bit of an unusual tournament in that it was entirely indoors and it was in January. But they've had some, I guess, a good result since, right? They had a tough tournament in Florida, but they bounced back nicely, and Shaman played some really good ball. Let's take a look at that replay.
They're working on Alix rather than serving April. Nice cross court touch from Taiana, but not enough.
Good to be tall out here, it turns out.
You can hit some different angles.
I think that's one of the things that's going to be so advantageous for Alix, is that the women aren't accustomed to her height. In that, some of the moves she can make at the net, on tight balls, she can make some reaches that other girls just can't make. So it's going to take a period of adjustment for some of these other women's teams to deal with that.
Do you, and purely speculation, Rich, but do you think that much like the men's game, I mean, for me, seeing an FIVB field once every few years, it always shocks me when I get here as to how much bigger the blockers are overall compared to just a regular AVP event. Do you think the women's field is going to start to go that way as well?
I would think so, just because the World Tour is representative of kind of the cream of the crop of each individual country. So you get your biggest and best athletes. That's the big development on the World Tour, I think, over the past few years, is you're getting these monsters that have all the skill set, right? They have ball control, they can set, obviously they can block, and they can bomb away.
Even just watching the Xiamen final, the young Russian team, don't recall their names off the top of my head. Apologies, I'll pick that up.
Stoyanovsky.
Yes, and
Velichko, I think. Yeah.
Just one. God, that is the future of beach volleyball. They are so dynamic and so huge.
And the kids, the big kid, Stoyanovsky's like 22.
Yeah.
I hesitate to make a "what's in the water in Russia" joke because it could be just about anything.
Well, there is an interesting story as we go to the technical. Brazil is whittled away at the U.S. lead here early on. There's an interesting comparable there because Russia chooses their teams and treats their training much differently than we have here in the United States.
Well, there's been some talk. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how it works in their federation, if their federation is choosing those partnerships, because Krasilnikov-Lyman is a new partnership the last 2 years. Krasilnikov's former partner tried to go back to indoor because there's great money to be made in Russia in the indoor league there. But that didn't work out, so he's back on the beach, but not having quite as much success with his new partner as Krasilnikov is having with Lyman. There's been some talk of Stoyanovsky and Krasilnikov playing together, which would be an impressive team. But since both teams are having success in the pairings they're in right now, I'm not sure what they are looking to do. Do you want to have two really competitive teams or one great team and some mediocre teams?
And some of that may shake out when it comes to Olympic qualifying. There's that big reach of Alix Klineman there.
Feasting line, Maddie.
So little margin of error against a player who can hit that angle. Your read has to be perfect to get that dig.
Yeah, this has turned into a nice competitive match. Alix and April started off pretty strong, but the Brazilians have come back. I believe they just won the most recent Brazilian tour stop as well, so this is a talented team.
Well, this is a fairly new to each other team. Only a couple FIVB events together, from what I could gather.
Taiana's been out here for a lot of years, though, and been very successful.
Both have been around. I think Carolina's got, I think, six years on FIVB tour under her belt as well, and Taiana is more along the lines of 16. That was questionable.
Came out with no spin, though, which helped the no call.
That makes it easier for the official to justify. It was definitely, I would not call that move reactionary in nature, though. That was not a particularly hard-driven ball.
Taiana can be a little sassy, and we're seeing a little bit of it there. You got the double finger wag and then the single finger wag with the smirk. Thought for sure that was going to be a back set over, just to rub it in.
That was a sweet cut, though, from Carolina. Definitely a massive size advantage for the Americans in this one. I think Carolina Horta is 5'11". Taiana is 5'9"-ish. April at 6'1", 6'2". Alix at 6'4".
Ooh.
Little help from the equipment there. Taiana with a nice shot. Looked like April had it until it popped off the tape. Here's the replay. Nice pickup. Good transition set, and then a little help from the AVP tape there.
Yeah, and April a little slow to get up. I think she kind of wrenched her back a little bit trying to reach back when that ball hit the net. Hopefully she's all right. All the off-season yoga coming into play, hopefully.
Still
Still
working on Alix. Alix is still working. Here we've got to look, Rich, at the, here's April coming through. Yeah, looks like she just wrenched a little sideways, trying to change direction at the last second there.
The Cobra can be a really good stretch for your back. The inadvertent Cobra, not as good for your back.
Inadvertent and really fast is usually not a good combination for stretching.
That's why I avoid it altogether, Maddie.
Carol, off the block.
Nice try.
It's a nice little shot from Carol down the line. Alix kind of all over the line, but the quick little dart able to sneak underneath the long arms of Alix Klineman there. You really have to have quite a range of offensive shots out here to be successful.
Line. Yeah!
That shot falls just wide.
All of a sudden we're level at 15, huh?
We knew this was going to be exciting. That's why they put it on stadium court.
Yeah. Impressive by the Brazilians to shake off the start they had.
Maybe they just needed a little extra time to wake up.
Line. Hey, good job, Alex.
Alix disregarding the block altogether. I like
Well,
that.
and the Brazilians have been very consistent in serving her. They want no part of April siding out. We'll see if they stay with that strategy through the course of the match, because Alix doesn't look bad.
Well, it's a big game of pick your poison out here most of the time. Everybody's talented. You just got to decide. Like you said, there's very thin margins between winning and losing. So it's a matter of, what a shot.
Power poke over the top into the corner. So, Rich, when you're looking at the, pick one or the other, this player's going to beat us, this player's going to beat us, what types of things do you take into consideration as a coach when you're helping a team make those decisions?
For our guys, we like to, what a smack there. We like to try and focus on our side of the net first. How are we going to get them out of system? We want to do it to maybe either guy and kind of keep assessing as the match goes along. Because, let's say hypothetically, April is the better side-out player. Maybe Alix is having a wonderful day and April's a little bit off. So you have to be able to determine that if you're the Brazilian team in this instance.
Wow, Taiana doing work.
Is that not 4? I guess not.
I don't think she got a touch on the, I think Alix got a touch and then she dug it off of that block there. Here's a little replay. Yeah, there's Alix's touch, then 1, 2, 3.
I told you making me look smart was going to be hard, Maddie. Arithmetic eludes me.
Here's April, opportunity to side out for her. Nice pickup by Taiana. Easy one into the middle for April again.
A big opportunity loss for Brazil there, I would say.
That shot was right into the middle of the court. Not the place you want it to be as we go to the switch. 18-17.
Yeah, so going back to the hypothetical situation, if you want to try and figure out who you're able to score against on any given day, and that could fluctuate. I think probably game plans going into a match are going to be relatively consistent if you keep matching up against the same team. But you have to have the pliability to adapt throughout a match and kind of feel your way through it. And I think the teams that are the best at that, the most efficient at that, are going to be the most consistently successful.
Alix serves Carol, nice side out, down the line from her. We get the net cam, one of my favorite parts of the AVP broadcast. Still working Alix.
Angle, line. Yes, Alix. Great line.
Nice swing there in the angle.
Somebody's going to have to get a real point between now and the end of the match. Will it be April? Top server on the FIVB, I believe 2 or 3 seasons.
Nice little cut shot there from Carol.
Nice job mixing that. So we watch her change, nice set from Taiana. We watch her change this angle. Give maybe just a little feint down the line.
Big bomb from Alix.
Why listen to your partner when you can hit it straight down? So they start moving Alix around a little bit now. A little wrinkle in the side-out offense. Set point here in set 1. Alix Klineman at the service line.
It's not an easy swing she made, going around to your left and swinging across your body. Takes a pretty high level of precision, and she did a really nice job of it there.
Carol with the swing. April picks it up, back over. Taiana now will have it on. Oh, no, Carol on 2. And Alix puts it away.
There's some of that height coming into play that we were talking about.
pull out the first set victory.
So we take a look at set point here. Carol with the swing. Alix, there's height number 1, Rich.
This is the first of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, I don't know, like 12? 12 matches, 10 matches? We're going all day. We're going like...
The ability Alix has there to not have to get off the ground to affect that play is huge. And I think, you know, Carol and most of the women's side probably isn't quite ready for that, accustomed to that just yet. And a great play from Alix in April to close that first set out.
Makes it difficult to change the tempo when she doesn't have to load and jump to get that point of contact. So USA goes into the winner's side. First set here. Going to be a good one coming up in the second set. Taking a quick look around. Sarah Hughes and Summer Ross have a first set victory over Emily Stockton and Kelly Larson there at 3-3 in set 2. Lauren Fendrick, Brooke Sweat are in a battle out on court 2. I believe it's the Germans that they're matched up against. Borger and Kozu, 22-21 in set 1 there. And Brooke Sweat playing, she's scheduled apparently to have rotator cuff surgery on Monday, so playing through pain with her buddy Lauren Fendrick this weekend. Do you think it was just too tempting when they realized they'd be the number 1 seed to come out and make a little money before she shut it down for the season?
Yeah, I'm sure it is tempting, especially on home soil. We wish Brooke the best with surgery and recovery, obviously. She's got years under her belt of chopping people up off speed, though, so hopefully that'll help her out this weekend with an injured wing.
Taking a look around court 3, number 1, or Sarah Pavin and Melissa Jimena Paradis get the first set. Antonelli and Solberg get the first set in their favor on court 4. We're back underway here in Stadium Court. Nice dig and then an overset, and Alix puts that one away. Working on Taiana this time. Crafty. Touches it just off the side of the block, squeaks it between Alix's arms and the antenna. It's a veteran move.
It was a very veteran move, and then I appreciate the attempt from Alix to say she hit me under the net, but unfortunately there's no center line on the sand, and if you don't interfere with a play trying to be, you know, made on the ball, then it's not an interference call.
Does provide for some dirty looks through the net, though.
Yeah, some ill will.
Service ace from Alix there. Still working on Carol.
Just watch this thing never get higher than 6 inches higher than the net. BB.
Alix taking over the start of set 2 here.
Off to another good start here in set 2.
As we see, this is what makes a net cam so much fun. Look at how high she gets, good penetration. Very little that Carol can do about that. Same thing we saw in set 1, though. USA off to an early start. The Brazilians evened it up there. Nice high line shot over the top from Carol. See how the game planning. So we talked a little bit about the game plan being consistent going into a match when you're matching up against the same teams. How long do you stick with a game plan if it's not working? What do you use to make those types of decisions?
Well, on the World Tour, the coaches are not allowed to communicate with their players. And so there has to be a lot of communication ahead of time with kind of how frequently you want to make those decisions. For my guys, we like to look at every 4 or 5 points. So we get a look at this. Tight pass. Fortunately, no.
I don't think April was ever going to get to that one.
Tough one, yeah. So, I mean, I suppose it depends on the team. You want to maybe 4, 5, 6 points. Have a look. Is what we started doing working? If so, stick with it. If not, how do we want to adapt? What do we want to change? Do we want to go after the other guy? Do we want to serve the same person a little bit differently? And you hope that your players develop a little bit of autonomy, and through their experience, they know how and when to make those adjustments.
One is out, no touch detected, although Alix tried really hard. Haven't mentioned in a while, this is the FIVB 4-Star Huntington Beach Open. Taking place, of course, right on the Huntington Beach Pier. We're on Stadium Court. I'm Matty Bishop alongside Olympic gold medalist Rich Lamborn. Not many better places to watch volleyball in the world as Carol misses wide with the cutty this time. Alix's block definitely having an impact on her offense, but here we are sitting in Stadium Court watching two of the best teams in the world out off in the distance. I think there's some dolphins feeding and birds out there in the ocean, people walking up and down the pier. It's absolutely incredible. If you're in Southern California, if you're in Northern California, Arizona, Nevada, wherever you are, you should probably try and get here this weekend.
Wanted to crawl over, just didn't quite get there. Ooh. Tough serve from Carol there.
Returning the favor on Alix, I think, catching her outside her left shoulder. So we take a look again. These serves come low, flat, and fast. Hard to get your platform behind that ball. One thing about April and Alix, and we caught on to this a little bit, she came up and taught a clinic for us in the Pacific Northwest this winter. They play their offense really wide intentionally. Is that something that they're doing to utilize their size advantage, in your opinion, Rich, or is that something that's becoming more common in the beach game than a more up and down compact?
Another great serve from Alix. Yeah, I don't want to speculate as to why they do that. Let's see this go right down the line. Oh my goodness. The trajectory she can get on those serves at her height is really impressive. As far as the offensive width, I think it opens up some more angles in the court. You know, if I'm in the middle, blockers can take away more of my options. So when I get out to the pin, I can obviously roll balls over the top down the line, but I've got any number of angles to hit in the cross court as well. And certainly with Alix's height and reach and April's offensive abilities, that makes them quite difficult to deal with, I would think.
Taiana going with the big jump top spin. Alix wide at the pin again, and a beautiful cut shot.
Nice example of it there. I mean, that's kind of like a 70–80% shot all the way from the pin to the other sideline. And that's, if you're not standing there, you're not digging that ball.
That one right at April. Out of transition, Taiana with the dig. Ooh.
They got the end line. You can see the sand mark on it.
Here we go. We got the end line. Look right here. What's that tell us? Oh, it's the wrong end line. Yeah.
Happened right in front of us, though. We can see the line jump just a little bit.
Coming to April with the serve now.
Fighting one through the block, April Ross.
I was going to mention this earlier. We saw Carol make a couple hitting errors kind of in the first 7 or 8 points of the set. And a lot of times blockers think if I don't block the ball, I'm not being a successful blocker. But you have to attribute those hitting errors entirely to Alix. Another great serve from Alix there.
Another ace
in that she's creating this hesitation as we look at the ace here. So Alix is creating this doubt in the offensive player's head. You know, Carol's got to think, I've got to go over this 6'5" girl, and tries to make more of a precise shot than she probably wants to, and that creates errors like we just saw there. So the blocker's job is not only to block balls, of course, but to create this hesitation and doubt in players.
And just to bounce the ball off her shoulder and serve receive, apparently, the second time.
That's another advantage of being this tall, is we can see the trajectory on this serve. Bingo.
Just nowhere to go. Alix with 4 aces. That takes us into the technical. The A team with a solid lead here.
You have very little time to decide if that's going to drop in or if it's just going to stay on that frozen rope there.
Well, I know we've working with some of the indoor national team coaches. The terminology that they use is flean, flat and clean, and it's very difficult to read and it's very fast. Hard to get out of the way or get your body out of the way to get your platform on it to pass.
So we've decided indoors that saying both words flat and clean together is too much trouble, so we're saying flean. Is that what's happening?
That is the wisdom of the coaching staff, yes.
Everything's a contraction.
21 kills for the Americans so far this match.
I wonder what our ace total is, though. That's quite a few.
Alix has 4. Let's. I imagine we can dig that up.
Woo! Just missed another one there by about 3 inches. That was that same ball. It almost got Carol in the shoulder again. She just dodged it at the last second.
So taking a quick look at the stats here going into the closing out set, or the second half of set number 2. 4 aces for Alix Klineman, 3 total. 1 for Taiana, 1 for Carol for Brazil. 13 kills for Alix, 8 for April. Taiana with 8, Carol with 8.
That one is just off the corner, 5-8.
April leads all players with 8 digs, and Carol, we talked about the hitting errors. She's got 5 of them to Alix's 2, none for April or Taiana.
Always nice to get free points. Great set.
Too easy. Too easy a shot from April. Nice transition play. She made a beautiful dig. Good set from Alix, and then she gave Taiana an easy one and paid for it. Maybe she was thrown slightly off balance by the visor dangling behind her head there.
Made a great layout dig. Yeah, maybe didn't fully recover in time to put her patented heat on that ball in transition.
Carol at the service line. Brazil trying to work their way back into this one. Little one-footed takeoff touch call by the line judge, overruled by the up official. Line judge made the touch call.
Again, I'm not a believer on any level that line judge saw a touch there. I don't know what's happening, and I think well done to go with her instincts by the up ref.
And sometimes you get lucky. April well off the net there. Tough set from Alix, and she uses the equipment to put that one down.
What I like about that play from April is she stayed aggressive even in a tough situation, and she got rewarded with a little trickler. Everyone's going to make mistakes, Maddie, but we prefer players to make aggressive mistakes rather than tentative mistakes.
And if you look at Alix and her serving, she's got 5 service errors, 4 aces. Maybe too aggressive, maybe just right, close to just right.
It's tough to say because I think each team has sort of a different. Ooh. Let's hope we see that in a replay. As
Let's get some net
just
cam on that one. That was beautiful. Maybe. Thank you.
I love the producer whispering replay.
That's block number 4 for Klineman.
Just watch these arms just jet over. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
Closed for business. Again, the ability to not have to jump and just kind of throw the knuckle up and be there already is phenomenal.
Well, and it was not a great set, not an easy play for April by any stretch of the imagination. But yeah, Alix just has such a high reach that it's easy for her to see the open court and just tap the ball into it.
Yeah, just by nature of kind of standing there in the wingspan, she can cover a bunch of ground and adjust to a set that's maybe a little tighter than April wanted. So going back to the serving thing, Maddie, each team probably has a different approach. I would think that if you're going to get 4 aces, you can deal with 5 service errors because you're trying to be that aggressive. I don't know that that's part of their game plan. Maybe it is. Our guys, one of our focuses is to try and increase our level of service pressure because we kind of tend to shy away from errors, maybe more than we should, and you have to serve tough out here to get teams out of system.
Interesting that at 19-12, Alix changes it up. Goes with the easier serve.
Stop it, stop. Over you.
Nice dig by Taiana.
Again, causing trouble up there, even if she's not directly blocking the ball. Alix affecting that play positively for her team.
Well, and
We got match.
she gets up and she pushes so far into the other court. She takes away an enormous amount of territory. She'll serve for match point here. And her 5th service series to the match ends it. So Alix and April stay on the winner's side. Taiana and Carol will move to the consolation bracket. They'll have lots more volleyball to play today.